What's up everyone, it's Herd85 here and welcome to episode number 11 on the WCW A Done Deal game. We are currently into March 2002. The big news coming into this show is the fact that Hulk Hogan has returned to WCW and he will be making an impact straight away. So here we go. So the return of Vampiro. He is in the storyline straight away as well, but you know, just giving him a few warm-up matches before getting him going. So Vampiro defeats Norman Smiley with a nail in the coffin. It's got 50. Bit of a random pre-show. Shane Douglas defeats Disco Inferno and Billy Kidman. So Disco has been brought back from My Developmental. It's got 70. Main show. Booker T starting a new storyline. Canada versus USA. He's in the ring, gets challenged by Lance Storm to have a one-on-one match at the WCW title later tonight. 99. Great start. Three-way tag match. Carino and Canyon defeat the Young Dragons and the new team from Developmental, the Naturals, Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens. It's got a 64. CM Punk defeats Johnny B. Bad with the Anaconda Vice. It's got a 74. Freestyle segment. Ric Flair talking to Dusty Rhodes and Eric Bischoff. He's been told basically there's a #1 contender tournament starting tonight to have a shot at his US title. So here's the first tournament match. Raph squashes Christopher Daniels with the meltdown. This got a 59. Here's the second tournament match. Hayes defeats Liger. So just so I don't forget, let's book the semi-finals next week. Hayes versus, well, next show, which is Thunder. Hayes versus Raph will be the first semi-final. Brown and Jarrett are in the ring. They call out DDP and Sean O'Haire as they appear. AMW make their return, line an ambush, and they destroy DDP and O'Haire. While Brown and Jarrett remain in the ring, having set the whole thing up. Looked like Melina was helping out quite well there. So what I'm also going to do is pre-book a tag match onto Thunder as well. Thunder's going to have some pre-booked matches. James Storm, Chris Harris will take on Sean O'Haire and DDP on Thunder. 79. Semi-final match. Quarter-final match. So Nigel McGuinness progresses in the tournament. It's got 70. He will face the winner of the next match, which will be coming up soon. Joe Styles interviews Team Canada before Lance Storm's big match. It's got a 63. Conan defeats Barry Windham. This was the other quarter final. So let's book that one for Thunder as well. So basically, semi-finals on Thunder is Conan, McGuinness, Raph and Hayes. The final will be next week on Nitro. Sting's in a ring, cut a promo. The lights go out. Vampiro's music plays, and the trademark symbol appears. Vampiro appears on the screen and promises that Sting's day will come, and it will come very soon. Sting looks on in fear. Probably not in real life, but basically Vampiro, he's returning. He's targeting an old rival in the Stinger. 72. It's only 72 because Vamp's not very over. He's been gone since the start of the game, which was May 2001. One for the fans, as we're in Puerto Rico. Scott Steiner defeats Savio Vega, who was only here for a one-show deal with the Steiner screwdriver, the Scott 77. Main event. Booker T defeats Lance Storm with his scissors kick. It's his 4th title defense. It's got an 80. Following the match, Team Canada are beating down Booker T when none other than Hollywood Hogan comes running to the ring, fighting them both off, saving Booker from a beatdown. So Hogan is back, saving Booker T, jumping straight into a fight with Mike Awesome and Lance Storm. First Nitro gets an 86. I mean, it was in Puerto Rico. Hogan reckons Vampiro's too clumsy. That's nice of him. So the Wrath. Anyway, Raw got a 88. Kane defeated Kurt Angle. And we got an 86. So difference now is we're actually getting viewers. Raw got 22 million viewers. Fucking hell. And we got 7.8. Jimmy Rave here. Man that never was in WWE. So I've made another developmental based in Canada. Just because obviously, you know, in the real world I don't know who's going to be good and who's not. SmackDown got an 86, Big Show over The Undertaker. So I'm just confirming a lot of my signings. Got a few referees. A women's division. So people I've signed include Jay Lethal, John Cena, Liz Mark Jr., Mike Bennett or Mike Canales, you might know him as, Aaron Stevens or Damien Sandow, Harry Smith, P.E. Williams, so quite a few well-knowns. So I'll show you there's my WCW Canada, and BG James is actually going to work there. Some Bobby Roode, Kenny Omega. And the ones I've just signed are all down the bottom here. From Angel, well, from PE to the power plant. Tank Abbott still the main man apparently. Be interesting to see who they go for world champ. At the moment in my power plant, Mike Sanders is the world champ. Ah, okay, Mark Jindrak. So just signed Alex Shelley. He'll be joining Chris Sabin now. For obvious reasons. Hail Sabin. So I've also just signed Roderick Strong, Drew McIntyre, Jack Evans, Sanjay Dutt, Jimmy Jacobs. For the main roster, Juventud Guerrera, to WCW vs the World had the Jimmy Crockett Cup. Mark Judrak defeated Tank Abbott in the final. I also had the Judrak beat AJ, Sanders beat Stasiak, Tank beat Lee, Helms beat David Flair. Then in the semis, Judrak beat Saunders, Tank beat Shane Helms. Then Judrak beat Tank Abbott in the final. Gotta go make him work in the developmental. Hooven 2 is going to be joining us at some point. Got some morale issues, probably because I keep getting jobbed out. Hey ho, what do you know? Just making sure I add Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin as a tag team now in my developmental. Who doesn't want the most of the machine guns, huh? Okay, let's get Thunder sorted. The semi-finals of the US title tournament. Okay, cool. So Thunder is up and running. Bit of a random main event for tonight's show. Roster is getting pretty big now, so it's getting harder to keep everybody happy. But hey ho, Vampiro again. Pre-show wins, defeats Cesaro, Super Crazy, and Terry Funk. It's got a 49. Random 10-man tag. Lynn. A lot of the cruiserweights, not all of them, but a lot of them. Lin, Yang, Kaz, Hayashi, Laparco, Mysterio defeat the Enforcers, Kikash, Psychosis, and Brian Knobs. That's got 64. Main show. I can't remember if I booked this, so if I did forget. No, I did book it. CM Punk's backstage arguing with Buff Bagwell, catches the attentions of Eric Bischoff, and he says they can settle it 1-on-1 tonight. 89, that's very high for a CM Punk Buff Bagwell segment. Semi-finals of the US title tournament. Raph defeats Hayes, 57. And the other semi-final, McGuinness defeats Conan, thanks to Randy Savage. So on next week's Thunder, it will be Raph versus Nigel McGuinness. The winner will be #1 contender for the US title against Ric Flair. And there's a segment here with Flair, Dusty, and Bischoff watching the action. I've got an 86. Sting defeats Barry Windham with the Scorpion Deathlock, 78. Following the match, lights go out and then Vampiro appears out of nowhere and attacks Sting, while Windham watches and just walks off, not wanting to get involved. It's got 78. Tag team action. Sean O'Haire and DDP defeat AMW. DDP defeat James Storms with a diamond cutter. 76. Following the match, Storm, Harris, Jeff Jarrett, and Monty Brown jump the faces. It's got an 83. Hardcore title match. Samoa Joe defeats Juice and Liger with a muscle buster. That's got 77. Yeah, I did see Buff Daddy defeats CM Punk with the Buff Blockbuster. That's got 79. Hulk Hogan and Mike Awesome are in the ring. They square off, not happy about something. It soon turns physical and it spills all over the outside. Officials have to pull them apart. So Hogan and Mike Awesome. You know what? Do I want to book it for Nitro? Or should be? I'll keep it going for now. I'm debating whether or not I want to put it on Nitro or the pay-per-view. Anyway, the main event. Dustin Rose with Chris Kanyon and Steve Corino defeat the Steiner Warriors when Dustin Rose beats Rick Steiner with the Darkness Falls following Samoa Joe interference. It's got an 80. And Thunder got an 81. Not the best show, but you got to remember I left out a lot of high rated people to try and start pushing the future of WCW. Alright, what have we got here? Mike Awesome keeps failing bloody steroid tests instead of Sean O'Hare. Anyway, Thunder 81, I'm still happy with that. New world champion in my Canadian development, given to Jamie Noble. Robbie E was given a North American title. Jack Evans given the Cruiserweight, and that's the show. We had Noble over Lash LaRue, Evans over Joey Matthews, and Robbie Echoes defeated Jimmy Jacobs. Early days though, early days. Okay, the other development, Mike Saunders defeated Bryan Danielson in the main event. It's got 72, so the ratings are starting to pick up for my development. Randy Orton there. So my development got 57, OVW got 52, which is WWE development. Chris Sabin there, who is in one of my developmentals. Jeff Jarrett wants a pay rise. I think that's fair enough. Been carrying some of the storylines. Mark Henry and Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton and Nick Dinsmore, who is otherwise known as Eugene. The Canadian one, Chuck beat Air Paris, and Lebucio is your new women's champion. I wonder if it's on, where is it? There she is, new women's champion. Anyway, my feuds are Palumbo versus BG James and Kendall Windham versus Mikey Whipwreck. Ugh, I'm so hoping some WWE guys' contracts come up soon. Be good to have a bit of a raid. Oh, okay. Got a return. The Great Suzuki's back. He's been out with a long-term injury. I'm sure he has. And nothing in the news. No. Why's Pawn Orndorff annoyed at Alright, up next is Nitro. We've got the finals of the US title #1 contender tournament. When it's Nigel McGuinness takes on Raph or Brian Clark. So looking to improve the ratings on the last show, which was 81. Big tag main event. 5-way match. Psychosis gets a win over Crazy, Cesaro, Cash and Red. Ali 54. 10-man tag. Chavo, Disco, Hayes, Johnny B. Bad and, believe it or not, Randy Savage defeat Wright, Tanaka, Lapaka, Funk and Crowbar. Vampiro finally on the main roster after a couple of weeks in dark matches. Defeats Jason Liger, nail in the coffin. 71. Just building Vamp back up. Rhodes and Joe defeat the Naturals, following a Muscle Buster that's got 66. Jarrett, Brown, AMW, Taunt, O'Hare and DDP, 75. Cruiserweight title defense, Jerry Lynn defeats Billy Kidman again with the Cradle Power Driver. This is only Kidman's, Jerry Lynn's second defense. Not too bad though. Sting's in the ring, cuts a promo on Vampiro. Casket is wheeled down. He opens it. Vampiro pops out and grabs him. Sting gets beaten around the ring, but escapes before Vampiro gets the chance to lock him in the coffin. So it's kind of like role reversal from their last feud with Vamp stalking Sting. But I'm going to pre-book this now for the pay-per-view, which is Greed. We're going to have Sting versus Vampiro in a casket match. So I've not had one of them, I don't think. But it will be Sting, Vampiro at WCW Greed in a casket match. Tag title defense, Steiner Warriors defeat Carino and Canyon. Apparently Canyon gets disqualified after getting into an attacking rage and refusing to stop beating up Rick Steiner. It's got 78. Booker and Hogan challenge Storm and Awesome. I can confirm that this match is going to be on Thunder. So Team Canada versus Booker T and Hogan is going to be on Thunder. Who'd have thought? Finals of the US title #1 contender tournament. Nigel McGuinness defeats Raph. Following the match, Ric Flair gets in the ring and the two have a heated confrontation and eventually start slugging it out. Security swarms the ring to break them up before they can hurt each other. It's got a 100, so very high segment. After that, Chaotic, Hogan and Awesome go at it. It eventually gets broken up by some of the roster. As you can see who's in it, I've got an 89. Scott Steiner in action, he defeats Finlay with a Frankensteiner. Main event, DDP and Sean O'Hare defeat Monty Brown and Jeff Jarrett. Sean O'Hare pins Brown after hitting the Widowmaker, 79. 86 for Nitro, so the ratings are back. Looks like we've outperformed Raw as well. So 86 for Nitro, Raw got 82. Kane defeated Big Show. Like I said, they like pushing the Big Show for some reason. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a good wrestler. So my openness update, I started May 2001 on 56 in America. I'm now on 72. So progressing very nicely. I'm more over in Australia. I'm 74 in Australia. So what can I say? Maybe I should do the Thunder match in Australia. I'll see how Booker T and Hogan's overness is, considering they're against Team Canada in the main event. SmackDown 88, Edge versus The Undertaker. Yeah, that would be a good match. So we've got a few contracts that are ending. Tanaka being one of them, but I don't think he'll re-sign now because he's a freelancer. So that will end the tag combo of Tanaka and Alex Wright. I think Alex Wright was just happy to be doing something, to be honest. Juventud Carrera joins the roster, rejoins the roster, however you want to say it. Juve's back. The one that likes to call himself the Juice. And let's have a look, see what we got. Shane Helms. Sanders to beat Helms and Reno in the main event. I got 63. David Flair went over Paul London. David Flair, jeez. Right, so Thunder, big main event. Booker T, Hogan versus Lance Storm and Mike Awesome. Okay, Thunder is booked. I'm pretty excited about this one. Psychosis defeats Super Crazy in a pre-show match. 58, it's okay. Big tag match. Wow, believe it or not, the Naturals. I left this blank thinking that Dustin Rose and Samoa Joe would win, but the Naturals pick up their first victory since returning to the main roster when they hit the Natural Disaster on Kaz Hayashi. 64, very good pre-show match. Backstage, Ric Flair gets beaten up by Randy Savage and Nigel McGuinness. This got 100. That's 2 100 in a row for McGuinness with his bro Randy Savage, his manager. So this feud, I've got a feeling, is gonna be hot for the angles. Raph doing what Raph does best. Wins the pre-show. So yeah, Raph won. Don't know why I said pre-show match, but he won a squash match. Carino and Canyon cut a promo, 77, basically saying that the change is coming. Time for different people to be used. I mean, to be honest, I've only brought Hogan in because his overness is massive. So Juventud makes his debut, but he gets beaten by the Cruiserweight Champion, Jerry Lynn, 71. Triple threat match. Chavo beats Daniels and Juice and Liger. This got an 80. This is a pretty good rating. Chavo's on a roll at the moment. DDP is arguing with Jeff Jarrett. Argument turns physical. O'Hare and Monty Brown get involved. Visuals break it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to book a... Who already had tag matches? Well, a one-on-one on Nitro. It's going to be Jeff Jarrett against DDP. And we're going to have... Agreed. We're going to book a Fatal 4-Way. And it's going to be to end both the feuds, and the TV title will be involved in a ladder match. So Jeff Jarrett's TV title will be on the line against Monty Brown, Sean O'Hare, DDP at Greed in a Fatal 4-Way ladder match, but on Nitro he's going to have one-on-one with DDP. Shane Douglas with the Enforcers defeat Terry Funk, Alex Wright, Tanaka, 71. Vampiro comes to the ring now. This time he cuts a promo on Sting. And the reverse happens. Another casket's wheeled down. As Vampiro looks, the lid pops open and Sting sits up. But Vampiro bails and runs through the crowd. So last time Vampiro Went for Sting with the casket this time. Sting went for Vampiro with the casket. 84. Conan defeats Hayes with the Ziploc. 77. Scotty Steiner smashes up Brian Knobbs with the Frankensteiner. 58. Promo Booker and Hogan taunting Team Canada. 100. So the sub-main again showing the youngsters in action. Buffy Bagwell, Canyon and Carino defeat Punk, Kidman and Mysterio. Buff is on fire at the moment, picks up the win with a Buff blockbuster. Main event, Booker T and Hulk Hogan defeat Team Canada. Hogan hits the big leg drop of My Awesome, picking up the 1, 2, 3. This got an 80. However, following the match, Lance Storm and Mike Awesome aren't taking the defeat line down. They put both Hogan and Booker through some tables. 97. And at 87 for this week's Thunder. No surprise there because it was a very built show. Good angles in there. Just debating now what to do with Booker T's world title. Do I make it a fatal 4-way, triple threat, 1-on-1? Sean O'Hare keeps getting steroid abuse. So 87 for Thunder. Canadian Stampede, Jamie Noble defeated Harry Smith in the main event. Harry Smith, son of Davey Boy, obviously. There isn't even any tag teams in my development, so I better add a couple. Calgary Bulldogs, Harry Smith and TJ Wilson. Johnny B. Bad's contract's coming up. It's fine though, because it's time to start letting the older ones fizzle out now. Doodler the Butcher's retiring. Bryan Danielson, star of the show. Unfortunately, Rodney from the Mean Street Posse, no way. Unfortunately, Bryan Danielson is a freelancer, so he's leaving soon. I think him and Kenny Omega. Right, it's like 2002, so that'll be why. Till I become world renowned. No, I got a 95. Wow. Jimmy Crockett Cup, AJ Styles defeated Mike Sanders, above average in the main event, 62. Same day as the other developmental, Palumbo won the main event against BG James, Ete Rios and Laszlo Rue. Phil LaFon. No, I don't think he'd take up a developmental, so there's no point in me offering one. Alright, so we're moving on to Nitro. The one pre-book match I've got is DDP versus Jeff Jarrett for the TV title. Right, okay, Nitro is booked. The TV title, main event, here we go. Monty Brown mows through La Parka, this got a 61. have a pre-show match just to sort of put everyone on the card. Kidman, Punk, Lynn, Road Warrior Animal and Crowbar defeat Cash, the Enforcers and AMW. Kidman getting the win, 67. Main show, Bagwell, Carino and Canyon again, saying that they are the bringers of change. This got an 80. Oh, this got to be an upset. Amazing Red defeats Christopher Daniels in a cruiserweight match with the missile drop kick. 6-man tag. Bagwell, Carino and Canyon defeat the Naturals and Terry Funk. This got 67. Vampiro attacks Sting and tosses him into a casket. There's some thunder and lightning. Vampiros opens the casket, but Sting is gone. It's got an 88. Raph defeats Cesaro with the meltdown. It's got an 64. Team Canada pick up a victory over Alex Wright and Tanaka. Storm gets the win. The Canadian Maple Leaf. I feature Team Canada quite a lot in storylines. I've just realised that they don't actually win a lot of matches, so just trying to give them some wins. They have a little promo afterwards saying that they are kind of promo on basically Hulk Hogan and Booker T, saying it's not over. Conan defeats Johnny B. Bad, 77. Contract signing between Nigel McGuinness and Ric Flair with Eric Bischoff as the host. Things don't go as easy as McGuinness tries to attack Flair, but the track fails as Flair leaves McGuinness lying. Now, this is going to be at Greed, and I'm going to make this a 2 out of 3 falls match. And there's my phone in the background going off. Triple threat, Rey Mysterio defeats Chavo and Justin Liger. That's got an 82. The Steiner Brothers defeat Dustin Rose and Samoa Joe with a 75. Eric Bischoff comes out and he books for Thunder. That's right, you heard it, on Thunder. Booker T versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan. It's got a 94. In the main event, Jeff Jarrett defeats DDP using underhanded tactics, retains his TV title, 82. Following the match, Sean O'Haire comes down to make the save with a steel chair. He goes to attack Jarrett, who moves out the way, and he accidentally hits DDP, leaving Jarrett to leave. With DDP tries to help, well, O'Haire tries to help DDP. It's got an 89 and an 86 overall for Nitro. So overall, another good show. Booker T Hogan will meet one-on-one on Thunder. Oh, look, St. Patrick's Day. So we got a 86 for Nitro. Raw got a 83. Ron Harris won some title. Right, let's carry on to Thunder. Right, SmackDown. Got an 88, Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. Just come up saying Lex Luger and Elizabeth have split up on my game. To be honest, I didn't even realise Elizabeth was still on my game. Shaggy too dope. Oh yeah, she's out of the business though. Right. Alright, let's have a quick look at the news. WCW versus the World. Sanders defeats Paul London in the main event. MMA win for Sylvester Tukey. Alright, so we are going to Thunder, and it will be Booker T versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Okay, Thunder is booked. Big main event, world title match, Booker versus Hogan. Anyway, here we go. Disco and AMW defeat Crazy and the Young Dragons in a warm-up match. It's got a 54. Wrath defeats Wyndham and Finlay in a pre-show match. It's got a 58. Main show, Hulk Hogan arrived via limo. Mike Tenay is waiting. He catches Hogan for a quick interview with Booker T. About Booker T. 75. Obviously, they didn't like having jobbers apparently, but Hooven Toot defeats Amazing Red in the Cruiserweight match. This got a 22. That's quite low. Tag match, the Naturals continue to win. They defeat Tanaka and Alex Wright. 54. Randy Savage asks for a match tonight against Ric Flair. Bischoff accepts. 83. Hayes, back to winning ways, defeats Crowbar with a Northern Light suplex. 54, that's not too bad. Lance Storm, Mike Awesome, Major Guns burst into Eric Bischoff's office. They complain about the match booked between Booker T and Hogan. Bischoff's had enough to ensure nothing goes down. He bans Team Canada from the building. Hosts of security and road agents remove them. 76. Stacey keeps walking backstage when Jarrett and AMW come out hiding and attack. They bundle her into a waiting car, then speed off. Sean O'Haire is left down and out because he was trying to make the save, as Stacey is his manager. So 79. Triple threat hardcore match. Joe defeats the outgoing Liger and the outgoing Johnny B. Bad. 69. Monty Brown attacks DDP from behind and starts beating him up, leaving him bloodied and beaten. So that's 93. So that's Brown and Jarrett's team taking out their rivals in the TV title feud. Scotty Steiner defeats C.W. Anderson with a Frankensteiner. 74. Probably should change his finisher, to be honest, to the Steiner recliner. Booker T shown warming up backstage. 74. Big tag match. Carino and Canyon defeat Mysterio and Kidman. Carino picks up the win with the old school explosion. It's got an 80. A brawl between Sting and Vampiro backstage, where there is a flaming dumpster. Vampiro rises to throw Sting into the dumpster, but Sting reverses it and super kicks Vampiro into it instead. So Vampiro is chucked into a flaming dumpster. A bit of a throwback to their Human Torch days. 77. Fantastic match. Flair defeats Randy Savage when Savage was DQ'd when Nigel McGuinness ran in and attacked Flair. Following the match, Flair's blindsided with the title belt. McGuinness takes a good look at his belt himself and even goes as far as to position it around his waist in a symbolic gesture before dropping it next to the fallen Ric Flair. 95. I'm pretty happy with the way this feud's going. Main event, this was a tester to see if it could go well. Booker T defeats Hollywood Hogan and retains the world title. 78. Now that's a face versus face match on Thunder. 81, still good. Like I said, our overness is, I think it's around 70 now in America, so anything low 80s and above still good. And to be honest, I was actually quite surprised that Hogan would do the job there. Brian Knobbs' contract's coming up. See, Booker T's overness now is 90. Hogan's is close. Alright, I'm not going to re-sign Brian Knobs. It's time for the old school lot to go. James Mitchell 5 from Jersey All Pro. There's my developmental. Jamie Noble seems to be pretty good down there. So we've got 2 more to go. We've got a Nitro, we've got a Thunder, and then a pay-per-view, which is Greed. Haven't really decided on the direction of the world title on that one yet. I'm in an R-in. I'm just, debating whether I make it a fatal 4-way or 1-on-1. Throw a massive curveball. Shane Helms defeats Evan Courageous in the main event. Alberto Del Rio won his MMA fight. He works in Mexico and Japan, so I can't even sign him for sort of a cameo. Oh, low key wins the tournament, huh? New Japan, 99 match in their main event. I don't really know New Japan that well, but Team Kojo defeated BATT, whoever that is. Spy Developmental, Jamie Noble again. Noble was teaming with Palumbo and got beat by BG James and Mikey Whipwreck. The Calgary Bulldogs win the tag titles. That's these boys here. So, in case you needed to know, the Calgary Bulldogs are TJ Wilson and Harry Smith. So the Hart Dynasty. Under their original names. Academy Awards are in. The Best Picture went to A Beautiful Mind, starring Russell Crowe. That's interesting. Q Morris is back. New champion. Last night, Eddie Guerrero lost the WWE World Title to Triple H. Oh, it was WrestleMania 18. So Triple H beat Guerrero in a 99 match. We had Jeff Hardy against Chris Benoit in a 98 match. Christian retained the IC title against Devon Dudley. So not really anything massive there. XPW on the brink. I might be tempted to save that. I'll have a little look, see all the rest of the news. Right, so that's my developmentals, little pay-per-view. Jamie Noble, Rude and S.A. Rios defeat BG James, John Cena and Air Paris. What a 6-man. Anyway, up next will be Nitro. So I'm just going to do a little bit of recruitment, but I'll keep it a secret for now. And then next up will be Nitro. Okay, so Nitro is booked. The last one before the Thunder and then the pay-per-view. Right, triple threat, 6-man tag. Young Dragons and Liger defeat Cesaro, Finley and Psychosis, giving Jimmy Yang a win there. 65, pretty good rating. Buff Bagwell back in action, defeats Amazing Red. Pre-show match, 71. Bischoff books the main event for Greed. He's gone for a triple threat. So Hogan will get a rematch against Booker T. But also the former champ Mike Awesome is in the mix. The Naturals pick up another win over Alex Wright and Tanaka. He's got 58, building up the Naturals. Awesome's arguing with Scotty Steiner, gets heated, and Eric Bischoff books them to face each other one-on-one in the main event tonight, 85. CM Punk squashes Brian Knobbs with the Anaconda Vice, 58. Booker's waiting at the arena, arrives at the arena. Hulk Hogan's waiting. After a brief stare down, Hogan shakes his hand and tells him the better man won. Well, I said last night, but it was actually on Thunder. It's got a 100, so angle wise, you know, the ratings are there. Jerry Lynn defeats Johnny B. Bad. Cradle Power Driver, obviously non-title because he's not at the cruiserweight level, 77. Backstage, DDP searching and calling out for Stacy Keibler. He finds her locked in a trunk. So DDP saves Keibler for his buddy Sean O'Haire, 64. Just a promo for Dustin Rhodes and Samoa Joe saying don't forget about us, you know, they were in a world title hunt like a month ago, 77. Lance Storm back to winning ways, defeats Hugh Morris with the Canadian Maple Leaf, 79, because they have great chemistry. Planet Jarrett, Harris Storm, Monty Brown, Jeff Jarrett are attacked by DDP and Sean O'Haire as a revenge. Sting in action defeats Hayes with a Scorpion Deathlock. This got 76. No Vampiro this week because he was thrown into a flaming dumpster. Ric Flair defeats Christopher Daniels. This got a 78. Following the match, again Nigel McGuinness blindsides Flair, and again Nigel McGuinness says he's going to be the next champ and throws the title down at Flair, 95. 8-man tag, the tag champs, the Steiner Warriors, teaming up with Kidman and Mysterio. They defeat the Enforcers, Carino and Chris Kanyon. Ricky Steiner picking up the win, 78. Main event, Mike Awesome defeats Scott Steiner with the Awesome Bomb. This got 78. Following the match, a three-way brawl breaks out between Hogan, Awesome and Booker T, 99. Yeah, solid 85 for Nitro. Take that as a win. Positive ratings. Keep it chipping away at WWF. We're slowly building to a new storyline soon. European Wrestling League. Looks like it's going under. Raw got a 91. They had Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit in the main event. Well, yeah. Oh, look at that. WWF sign Hawk. To be honest, I sort of contemplated going for Hawk, but you know, I like the tag team of Rick Steiner and Road Warrior Animal. Okay, let's have a look. See, X-Pac got injured on SmackDown apparently. Just come up in my news. Man, that only got 79, but WWF had a show in Japan. Billy Gunn, Raven and Rikishi defeated Funaki, Satin and Farouk in the main event. That was a bit weird. So yeah, X-Pac shattered his elbow. Apparently he's out for 1 year and 1 month. Damn, that's one heck of an injury. Done a couple of signings, including Matt Bentley and Low Key. That's Liger gone from WCW now. Jay Briscoe taking the CCW World Title. WCW vs. the World. Sanders defeated Bryan Danielson. I got 68. Oh, Wesley Bursick wins the women's title. The irony of that is I actually got a women's tag division, and Bursick is now tag champ with the alpha female and world champ. So she's a double champion. And eventually, building towards a women's division on WCW. Right, now it's time to book the last Thunder before the pay-per-view. Okay, this is the last Thunder before the pay-per-view. So Vampiro, who makes his return, but only just for the crowd really, in a pre-show match, defeats Norman Smiley, 52. A lot of main eventers in this one. Steiner Warriors, Kidman Mysterio beat Cesaro, Chavo, Disco, Finley, Kid Cash. Just because I didn't have anything for them. 69. So freestyle angle. This is in Australia, by the way. Should have said this. So it's interesting to see what ratings I get. So Bischoff basically books a triple threat tag match tonight, where Bischoff will pick each of their partner, and it won't be obvious. So 96. So like Awesome won't have Storm, for example. Alex Wright defeats Johnny B. Bad, 51. Cruiserweight match, Jimmy Yang defeats Psychosis and Christopher Daniels. So Yang back on a winning ways, former Cruiserweight champion, 65. DDP Sean O'Haire with Stacey Keibler cut a promo, 92. Joe defeats Tanaka with the Muscle Buster, retains his hardcore title, 71. Lance Storm defeats the Cruiserweight champ Jerry Lynn with the Canadian Maple Leaf, 77, so Storm continues his wins. Sting basically rips into Vampiro, 92. Vampiro's mum wanted a girl, his father wanted a boy. I guess they were satisfied with both. Woo. McGuinness defeats Hugh Morris for the Tower of London. It's got 73. Following the match, Ric Flair gets in the ring. They finally come face to face. Psych themselves up and charge, but all these wrestlers break it up. 99. Excellent rating. Tag match, O'Haire and DDP defeat the Enforcers. Sean O'Haire picks up the win, 75. Following the match, Jarrett and Monty Brown jump them, but it's a four-way brawl, as it will be a four-way match at the pay-per-view, 94. Buff Daddy. Buff Bagwell defeats Conan, the Buff Blockbuster, 75. Main event, random tags. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Raph and Booker T have excellent chemistry teaming. Hogan and Punk defeat Booker and Raph and Awesome and Shane Douglas. Hogan defeated Raph with a big leg drop. 80. You know what? I'm actually going to give Booker T and Raph a tag team. Final match, Mike Awesome, annoyed, throws Hogan and Booker T off the entrance ramp onto the hard concrete floor. And a sly smile on his face, happy at the result. 97. And that finishes Thunder from Australia. 86. Big win for CM Punk in the main event, and weirdly a random tag found between Booker T and Raph or Brian Clark. Keep him as Raph for now. Got a few people developmental asking to be recalled. So Thunder 86. Jamie Noble the Star beats BG James and Harry Smith. Jimmy Jacobs is going to be teaming up with John Cena, known as The Truth. Jerry Saggs' contract's coming up. Saggs on knobs I signed as a tag team to help job people, but then neither of them have been like on my roster because well, knobs did, but because of drug stuff really. I'm going to remove Lance Storm from the world title storyline to Booker T and Raph. What a name. Darkness Rising? Power and Glory. Huh? Trying to think of a name. The Inner Circle. Nighttime, Night Day, Shining Examples. Just call them, be boring and call them Booker T and Raph for now. Right, let's move on. Alright, I think I'm going to call up for my developmental AJ Styles, bring him back. Get ready to fly. Alright, AAA. Del Rio's dad won the main tournament. Shane Helms defeated Dan Danielson, defeated Rec and Stasiak. But yeah, I've called back, I've called up. Oh, that's from my developmental. Ducks and Hayes. But yeah, I've recalled AJ Styles. After he spent about 6 months in development. CML pay-per-view got 77. Ibushi broke his foot. Chad Collar from my development was the star. Right, up next is the final show of the month. WCW Greed. Okay, Greed is booked. The last pay-per-view of this month. Hopefully we have an interesting ending. So a warm up for the crowd, but it is on the main show. Psychosis actually picks up a big win over Smiley, Cash and Funk when he hits his guillotine leg drop. Bischoff and Dusty Rhodes welcome us to the show. 76. Cruiserweight title match, and we have a new Cruiserweight champion. He has just been called up from developmental. AJ Styles is your new Cruiserweight champion of the world. Yeah, that's it. I went with AJ because he's already mid-card level, so you can definitely tell development did some justice for him. He's better in the ring, and now he is the Cruiserweight champion. 71. Also had Crazy, Yang, Juventud, Chavo and Lynn in that match. Bit of a random tag, trying to discover some new tag teams, but doesn't look like there was. Mysterio and Kidman beat Hayes and Cesaro and La Parka and Amazing Red. Got a 73 though, not too bad. Tag team title match. Sana Warriors beat the Naturals, Tanaka and Wright and AMW. This is only their second title defense. 69. Team Canada are in the ring, or backstage, and they basically decided to go their separate ways. Well, mostly. Storm's still going to have major guns with him, but Mike Awesome and Lance Storm will no longer be a tag team anymore. It will make sense a little bit later. Bit of a random battle royal to get the usage out of some people. Scott Steiner defeats a whole bunch of people. When Joe was the final elimination, Barry Windham got the most apparently. A bit of a top contenders match, I guess we can call it. 6 big upper mid carders here. Lance Storm defeats Conan, Shane Douglas, Dustin Rhodes, CM Punk and Raph when he locked in the Canadian Maple Leaf. Punk still showing some heel turns. He needs to be his gimmick needs to be tweaked a bit. 76. Sting defeats the return of Vampiro in a casket match. Vampiro was 82. Now, to be honest, I didn't think it'd be so high. I was expecting maybe mid 70s, but yeah, pretty good. 82. I wasn't expecting this to be so high. An exceptional match. It's also a feud ender for all this feud. Diamond Dallas Page defeats Jeff Jarrett, Sean O'Haire, Monty Brown in a ladder match to win the TV title. During the match, Jeff Jarrett took a crazy bump and we got an 88. Following the match, Monty Brown and Jeff Jarrett are beating down DDP because they're upset they lost. Sean O'Haire slides back into the ring, looks like he's about to make the save, but instead turns on DDP. So this is the heel turn of Sean O'Haire. Jarrett and Brown back out of the ring, uncertain of what's just happened. 98. In an exceptional match, Ric Flair defeats Nigel McGuinness. 2 straight falls, the final fall happening with the figure 4. 88. Awesome. Following the match, Randy Savage is cutting a promo. McGuinness interrupts. They have a bit of an argument, and basically McGuinness fires Randy Savage. This is a face turn for Randy Savage because McGuinness beats down his former manager. 86 for that. The main event, quite happy with the result. Booker T retains the world title against Hogan and Mike Awesome, pinning Awesome after hitting the scissors kick. It's got a 90. Following the match, and this is kind of continuing in the new story, Eric Bischoff comes out, stands on the entrance ramp. He points to the ring and shouts, "Now!" Awesome, O'Haire, Carino, Canyon and Buff Bagwell hit the ring and destroy both Booker T and Hulk Hogan. Bischoff makes his way to the ring and claims that the new blood is back, baby. 89. So a way to make some stars. Awesome left Team Canada, but he's technically joined the new blood. That also has Sean O'Haire, Steve Carino, Chris Canyon and Buff Bagwell for now. And that's the end of this show. To be honest, I was expecting higher. Only 83, but there was some big matches in there, so a little bit miffed about why I only got 83, but hey, still good. Maybe it's because a few storylines ended. So just making the post-match speech. So we'll go over Monday's news. Seems to be taking a while. That'll be why we've got loads of news. You got Muta's contract coming up in Japan. Oh, there you go. Look at that for big news. Stone Cold Steve Austin, huh? You won't talk to me though. I'm not big enough apparently. Let's have a quick skim down, see who else is about. There's Greed. Again, we got 83. Kevin Kelly. I think I'm okay. Haku, yeah, I might go for him. But I like the boss man. Shamrock, he is part of my roster. For that Xbox contracts coming up. So quite a few contracts. And I shall Rotunda. I shall definitely be raiding Grandmaster Sexy. Jesus, so much news. We got 135. A lot of it is contract re-signings because a few tours has ended. Spike Dudley there. Eric Watts. Wow, I should definitely be having a little nosy properly after showing you guys. Loady. But as much as I want to sign Stone Cold, of course I would. I do not. He does not want to talk to me. So I've got more chance in signing X-Pac, to be honest. But I've got a few contract ending, so on the plus side I've also got the return of Ken Shamrock soon. But Raph, Mike Awesome, Brian Adams and my referee. Well, I hope Awesome doesn't jump ship because I've been pushing him pretty heavily. Is Ken Shamrock back? Let's have a look. Not yet. In 28 days apparently. 28 days Shamrock will be back. Anyway, that is the end of this chapter. Greed ended with Booker retaining the world title, but the return of the New Blood, led by Eric Bischoff. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, take care. I'll catch you next time.